now, right now. Right 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 now, right now. Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We gotta add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your weekday morning show where we bring you the latest and everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we are going to be experiencing and watching some major bearish technical and fundamental factors that have led to a major drop on Bitcoin over just the last few days. Now, as you know, we had a bearish confirmation on Wednesday and Thursday that a new primary downtrend seemed to be starting, and we talked about where the bottom for that might be. Today, we've got increasing data that Bitcoin is switching into the bears' hands, everything from non-farm payroll and the jobs reports and unemployment data to the MACD and the crypto Jeb oscillator on our charts, and also what's going on in the stock market. Right now, we're witnessing a major drop on U.S. stocks. All of these factors come together into confluence, showing us that the next week or two may be exceptionally bearish for Bitcoin. And today, I'm going to show you exactly where I believe Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency space is heading next. And we're also going to be talking specifically about what we should be doing in relation to that movement. I want you guys to be prepared to succeed and make trades and make profit from this movement. So stay tuned, because we're going to be covering all of that and more in today's episode of Coffee and Crypto Live. Thank you all for tuning in. If this is your first time here, I want you to go ahead and give me a big wave. Shout out to you. If this is your first time here on the stream, give me a big wave. I'd love to give you a shout out here on the stream. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Chris SF's in chat. Drian's in chat. Christina Orozco's in chat. Cynthia Dizon. Cole is in chat. Joel Elbs is in chat. Johnny, Dave, and Arthur in chat, and a lot more. Welcome to everybody who has already tuned in. Let's go ahead and get started. Bitcoin is currently down to $64,696. Just so interesting to say that it's down to $64,000, because I remember when Bitcoin was trading at $6,000. I remember when Bitcoin was trading at $2,900. Now it's trading at $64,000, and that's a correction at that. So on our chart here, over the last few days, we've been discussing how Bitcoin was entering into a new corrective movement. That corrective movement has continued over the last 24 hours or so, with a new local bottom sitting down here at 62 grand. We predicted yesterday that Bitcoin would bottom out as low as $60,000, and that is still very much in the cards. What we are witnessing right now is that Bitcoin fell below this key level of support at $66,000, dropping all the way down here. We fell to $62,000 in response to a few major technical developments. First and foremost, Bitcoin was finding itself in this massive ascending trading channel right here, and Bitcoin was not able to hold that and ended up breaking south below this major uptrending level of support back on Tuesday earlier this week. Furthermore, on the daily chart, we also saw Bitcoin fall below the histogram. The histogram broke below here as we saw a bearish MACD cross occur on Bitcoin's daily chart, indicating that we are now in confirmed bullish territory. And furthermore, we've also seen the crypto Jeb oscillator completely burn out. If you guys are interested in getting the crypto Jeb oscillator, you absolutely should. We predicted that a new corrective movement could be coming as early as Tuesday of last week, July 23rd, because the crypto Jeb oscillator had a downtick right here. This is one of the signals, one of the major signals we look for in crypto Jeb oscillator. Again, it's an oscillator that I created in partnership with LUX ALGO. We look here for downticks here on this line. This represents the bullish acceleration. This down here represents the bearish acceleration. And you can think about this as how far down have the bulls or the bears pushed the gas pedal. Right? If the bulls are in charge, they have their foot on the gas, they push their foot down. How close to the metal is that pedal? And when they start to let up, then that tells you that the bullish strength might be lightening. And so that's where that that vertical line came in here and we started to see a lot of sideways action, whereas before that we saw a lot of bullish action, and that gave us confidence to be on the lookout for a major corrective movement. A few days ago, we confirmed that as a new confirmed downtrend as a result of MACD, Crypto Job Oscillator, RSI, moving averages, breaking below an uptrending level of support, breaking below $66,000 as a level of support, and several other indications and indicators that we'll be talking about throughout the course of this stream. But the most important thing to discuss today is the fact that Bitcoin is now in a confirmed downtrend, and over the last 24 to 48 hours, we've got even more reason to believe that that is exactly what's happening. So let's keep it moving here. I want to give a major shout out to Edge, who gave us the wave in chat. Welcome to stream. Thank you so much for being here. I assure you guys, I am going to make sure that you walk out of this stream having a comprehensive view of everything that's going on in crypto right now. Everything that you need to know, you're going to hear about it here first. So make sure to subscribe, hit that post notification bell, and join with us every morning here on YouTube. Dr. Ada's daddy said, good morning, future and current financially free peeps. You are loved. Absolutely. All right, so we're going to continue on with the Bitcoin technical analysis, but we've got a little bit of news that I want to cover. Just a few things we need to brush up on. First things first, I don't want us to forget this piece of news because we are talking quite extensively right now about the bearish side of things. I want to be very specific. We're talking about the next week to 2 weeks and the bearishness that we are expecting from the next week to 2 weeks. All right, the overall theme of 2024 is an overall theme of mass adoption. This is the first year of mass adoption the Bitcoin has ever witnessed. We've seen the Bitcoin ETF go online, the Ethereum ETFs go online. Donald Trump is now pro-Bitcoin, most important, most powerful political individual in the entire world, even more powerful than Biden, I would say, even though he's not currently in office. Trump is a force to be reckoned with on the political stage, and he has been leading a complete realignment of the parties with the Republican Party. He's definitely come in and shaken a lot of things up. So he's a once-in-a-generation kind of candidate, and with him being pro-Bitcoin, that's a big deal because as the Republican and the Democratic parties are restructuring, which happens about once every generation or so, as they are restructuring, President Donald Trump is a part of that. And so with him being pro-Bitcoin, that obviously leads in the direction of the Republican Party for the foreseeable future being generally pro-Bitcoin, which is a big deal because it means that one, if not potentially even both, of the major political parties in the United States could end up becoming pro-crypto. So that's a big deal and something that we don't want to forget. Just because we're looking at the waves, right? Just because we're looking at the waves of what's happening today doesn't mean that we should forget what's happening with the climate. That's why we have a series called Climate of Crypto. We're looking at the climate, right? The long-term trends. Now, what I want to talk about here is just a reminder for anybody who didn't hear about this and an update on this. Both former President Donald Trump and Senator Cynthia Lummis have proposed that the U.S. hold Bitcoin on its balance sheet in the reserves. Both of them have proposed hundreds of thousands, if not over 1 million Bitcoin being acquired. Now, again, you've already heard this, but I just want to kind of remind you of this so that as we talk about bearish factors today, we don't get tempted to think, oh my goodness, the bull market's over. Bitcoin's dead. Woe is me. The end of the world has come. You know, the white, you know, it's all over. It's all over. Raise the white flag, throw in the towel, all of that, every metaphor you can think of. Let's keep our heads on straight. Keep them screwed on straight, right? Because there's a lot of reasons that we can get worked up and get freaked out about things, and it's just not worth it. Now, with that in mind, let's also look at some of the data. Reuters has the most recent non-farm payrolls and unemployment data that has come out as of today from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Non-farm payrolls increased by 114,000 in July. So basically 114,000 jobs, not including farm work, came into the market in July, which is a very good deal. Unfortunately, unemployment rates rose to 4.3% from 4.1% in June. So that rise is definitely not indicative of a strong economy. A lot of people are very concerned about us slipping into a recession right now, and they've got reason to believe that. We're in this kind of uncertain, unsteady recovery following the COVID-19 pandemic. And so with that unemployment increasing, that leads to quite a bit of fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the market. We'll talk about how that's impacted stocks and Bitcoin here in just a second. Average hourly earnings have also gained 0.02%, up 3.6% year on year, which is nice because for quite a while here, earnings have been lower than inflation, which means your ability to maintain your lifestyle has been slipping away from you because of this data. So that's a good sign. Overall, though, These two things are kind of to be expected. The unemployment rate increasing is something that people were not very happy about. And you can see on open, we've had a major drop in the United States S&P 500. The SPX here obviously has been on an absolute tear for the last couple of years here, ever since the bottoms following the COVID-19 pandemic. But the last few weeks have been a major corrective movement. We closed yesterday above this uptrending level of support. Unfortunately, this morning we opened below that uptrending level of support. You see, the reason that's important is because this uptrending level of support has been giving us market structure on U.S. stocks ever since last year around October. And so with us opening below this uptrending level of support, that gives us a major break bearish on SPX, the same way that we're seeing on Bitcoin. These two major breaks bearish indicate that the next couple of weeks we could see some serious headwinds. And so that's where we need to pay attention here to the United States stock market. We were reaching towards all-time high. DJI, SPX were hitting all-time highs. SPX was at 5,600. The DJI was sitting well over 40,000. That's something that we've been watching pretty closely here. And so that is no longer the case. We're in a corrective movement on U.S. stocks and U.S. equities. So here's what we've got to pay attention to. Most people consider the United States stock market to be entering into recession if you see more than an 18% corrective movement, at least a 20, or at very minimum a 20% corrective movement. We're a long way away from that. That being said, if we don't see a recovery on the stock market, then we could end up testing other major levels. For example, here, stocks here could be falling all the way back down to 52.66. If we fall back down to 52.66, what's going to happen? Well, what's going to happen is that we're going to end up potentially breaking below that. We need to watch this trend because most things are exceptionally bearish on United States equities right now. We've got an extremely obvious bearish MACD here on the daily chart, even the crypto Jeb oscillator. The bears are very much in control. You generally just have this slow, gradual up and to the right kind of motion as people fund their retirement accounts. It's not what's happening right now. We've also even got LUX ALGO over here, which, yes, you can use LUX ALGO on the stock market. It works very well in the stock market, calling this corrective movement. By the way, LUX ALGO absolutely dominates the United States stock market. You might not know this, but LUX ALGO is not just for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. It's for any charted, market. And so LUX ALGO called a sell signal right here, where we saw a red sell signal combined with a trend catcher red here, and that has been leading us to the downside for quite some time. Today is the first day that we actually see the candlestick coloring change red, which means we're not in a weak sell signal. We're now in a strong sell signal, indicating that we're in the most bearish position that the United States equities market has been in several weeks, if not a couple of months. And so we're going to need to watch that development closely, but this, as well as just the plain fact of unemployment increasing, has been a negative development for Bitcoin, and that gives us context for why Bitcoin would be going through this correction in the first place. The good news is here, on Bitcoin, we are witnessing an inverse head and shoulders pattern build. You can see it right here. It's very clear, plain as day. It's a very, very obvious inverse head and shoulders pattern. Neckline, you'd probably draw somewhere right around there. So if Bitcoin does manage to play out this inverse head and shoulders pattern, we could be seeing a break up towards $68,000, which would break us through the floor at 66, rally us all the way up to about $68,000. And then you would end up seeing Bitcoin potentially trade hit its head here on what used to be the baseline of the overall uptrend. From there, if Bitcoin built out a bull flag, then that bull flag could lead us back to the upside, breaking us back into the trend, and this was all just one big bearish fluke. That being said, right now, again, we've got to accept that the trend is our friend until it ends, and at the moment, MACD and crypto Jeb oscillator are very, very clear. Bitcoin is in a major corrective movement. So the next few days to weeks, we need to be looking at this through the lens of the bears. That being said, we don't know where that bottom is, and I'll get my pencil out here so I can conduct. That being said, the primary trend outside of the shorter term, the primary trend is one of bullishness. We're still in a bull market. Bull market has not ended, has not concluded one bit, has not concluded at all. Not even close. And so with that in mind, what we've got to understand is that when the market goes into a corrective movement, I'm not recommending you short. I don't think you should be shorting right now because the downtrends are, generally speaking, going to be weaker than the uptrends, which means by the time you get confirmation that the downtrend has actually begun, you might already be half of the way to the bottom, which means that if you wait for a bullish confirmation to the upside, you might actually not get much out of the short. So I'm not recommending you short right now. What I am recommending is increased purchasing. As Bitcoin sits below 66,000, if you are already dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin, I recommend continuing that dollar cost averaging and potentially even increasing the weekly or monthly allotment by maybe 10 to 25%. And the reason that we do that is because we want to look at Bitcoin through the lens of a 10 to 20 year investment. I am not interested in teaching you guys how to invest in Bitcoin for the next 6 months. You can do that, and plenty of people do that. I, however, have seen the most success in my life over doing cryptocurrency for well over 7 years now, and from, teaching people this stuff for thousands of hours. I have seen, hands down, the most success come from long-term holding. Several of my Bitcoin I have held for well over 5 years, more like 6 years. Right, I've been holding some of our Bitcoin for over half a decade. Some of our Ethereum I've been holding for over half a decade, and those are some of my best performing positions. So as you guys know, I want to build a lot of wealth. That's my dream. That's my goal. That I want to build a lot of wealth and manage it and use the proceeds and the cash flow from that to benefit you guys and benefit people that are in need. And so I am in the game of making as much money as I possibly can while doing it ethically and also caring for my family and not just being a workaholic. That's my dream. That's my goal, right? And so I want to share that with you as well. And what you need to do right now, the action step, considering where this market is continue your dollar cost averaging and potentially even increase the amount of dollar cost averaging that you are doing right now. So shout out to all of you guys that have been dollar cost averaging, and thank you so much. Rick4962 is in chat, and Rick, I wanted to apologize to you. I think you gave a couple of super chats yesterday, and I didn't actually get to them. Shout out to Rick for his 2 super chats. I think he gave 2 $50 super chats. I'm so sorry. I don't think I've ever missed a super chat like that. Especially not two massive ones. So sorry about that, Rick. My apologies. Wanted to apologize to you for that. If you said something in the super chat that you want to repeat, go ahead and tell me, and I will get to that. My apologies for that, guys. We're about to read some chat, but I do want to give you guys a word from our sponsor, which would be none other than NordVPN. Here's the thing: NordVPN is going to keep you safe, but it's not just NordVPN. They've also got some other products over here that I definitely want you to check out. They've got NordLayer, which is a VPN for your business. They've got NordPass, which is an incredible password manager. They've got NordPass for Business, which is a business password manager. And they've also got NordLocker. All of these products you can get with a discount with the link in the description box down below as well. And if you have not signed up for NordVPN or any of these other products, you absolutely should. Here's why you should get NordPass and NordPass for Business also. Your passwords, if they get hacked, then the VPN didn't necessarily protect you from that, because the VPN would have protected you from the passwords getting out. But if the passwords got out somewhere else, some other way, for example, you had them written down, somebody broke into your house, or let's say you put them in a website and the website stole them, or whatever happens, that's a security vulnerability in and of itself. So NordVPN is in the business of anywhere that there's a security vulnerability, creating a product to solve that problem. That's NordVPN. That's why they're amazing. They do all of it. They do everything you could possibly need for your online security. One of those is password managers. You should absolutely sign up for NordVPN, get NordPass and NordPass for Business, and you should get NordLocker, which is your encrypted cloud storage. Anything that you want to store on the cloud and keep secure, you should store there. And another thing, I'll go ahead and show you this too. This is something you should absolutely sign up for as well. This is called Incogni. This is another NordVPN product, and when you sign up for NordVPN, you can actually get Incogni as a bonus. As far as it'll be there on the checkout page. And basically, what Incogni does is they browse the entire internet looking for any companies that have your personal information. These data brokers will take your money. They will take your information and they will sell it to the highest bidder. Whether that highest bidder is going to try and steal from you, or whether they're going to sell it to an advertisement company, an advertiser, or whatever. Incogni hunts down any company online that has your information, and they make sure that it gets taken down and puts on a suppression list so that they can't take your information anymore. Scams are trying to steal from you. There's invasion of privacy, identity theft, increased costs, all of that. So make sure if you have not already signed up for Incogni that you do so with the link in the description box down below as well. All right, let's read a little bit of chat and then we'll keep it moving here. Ron Hart said, "What's up, Jeb, man? What's up, my friend? Welcome, welcome, welcome." Jason Berry said, "Morning all, the scary R word is back in play." You see, this is the reason I want you guys to build financial sovereignty, because when a recession comes, you don't have to be scared about it. Just think about all these billionaires out here. Think about like Ramsey, Dave Ramsey. Dude bought $10 million of real estate. It's worth $100 million now because he had cash and cash flow during the 08 recession. Rich people are not scared of recessions. Rich people look forward to them. Yeah, I said that. Rich people are not scared of the R word. Rich people are excited by the R word because they get a gigantic discount. Rich people are not scared of Bitcoin bear markets. They are excited by Bitcoin bear markets. They are not scared of decreasing prices. They are excited by that. And so what I really want to encourage you guys to do is that if we do go into a recession, make sure that you're in a position financially. Do the work right now in the good times to put yourself into a position financially that when a once in a generation or once in a century financial crisis like '08 happens, then we have what we need to be able to take advantage of that. And so that's why I want to help you guys build wealth. You know, look, it's not a moral thing to be rich. What it is it can be if you follow, you know, what we're teaching here. I'm going to teach you to build wealth. And it might not be this year. It might be 5 years from now. It might be 10 years from now. You're going to be incredibly well off if you follow the financial sovereignty way. And then when a recession does happen, then you don't have to be scared of it. That's what I want. I'm not putting you guys down. Listen, recessions are scary. When I was 8 years old, my dad lost everything from 2008. He lost everything. I mean, he did. My dad was just about to get into the business of flipping houses when 2008 happened. Yeah, that was my childhood. Yeah, no, believe me, recessions are freaking terrifying in our house, right? Not in our house, but in the house I grew up in. I want to put you guys in a position where it doesn't have to be that way. And that's why we're going to work really hard here in the good times because they do go by too fast. We aren't rich. We are normal Joe. I mean, that, and that's where I want you guys to be able to build a lot of wealth. I'm not rich and I'm not scared of recession. Cool. Yeah. I mean, if you don't have debt, if you don't have a mortgage, if you have some cash flow, you don't have to be scared of those things because it's an opportunity for you to build your wealth. All right, let's keep it moving here. Let's talk about where Bitcoin goes next. So obviously, Bitcoin is currently in a major corrective movement, not looking like that inverse head and shoulders pattern is going to play out, which honestly, I wasn't really expecting it was going to in the first place. We are still in that confirmed downtrend. And so we're having a major crash right now. Normally, when this happens, that can be indicative of some kind of news event happening. So let's see if something happened in the last 5 minutes. If anybody knows anything that happened, you can tell me. I don't think anything happened. I haven't seen anything come across my desk. But yeah, so Bitcoin in this major corrective movement here makes a lot of sense. One thing we also want to look at here is LUX ALGO. We're seeing a red sell signal come into LUX ALGO right now. And this is something that we need to be very aware of. When this sell signal happens, it is a confirmed sell signal. It is confirmed because we never actually saw a green trend catcher from this recovery, from this bounce. We never saw a recovery at all. We didn't. And so since we never saw a green trend catcher, that means we have had red trend catcher this whole time. You can see the red trend catcher right here. It's been red this whole time. So if this red sell signal confirms, which it probably will, to be totally honest with you, it will be a confirmed sell signal. And that could give us a price target as low as, $55,000 to $58,000. And so we're going to need to watch very closely to see what happens to Bitcoin next, because if we do see that confirmed sell signal, then we will be looking at a few more weeks of bearishness. Again, not something I want you to freak out about. I want that to be an opportunity for you to dump more money into the market. What are you doing to free up cash? Like, just in chat. I would love to hear some chat interaction on this. What are some things that you personally are doing to free up cash to be able to invest more? What are you doing? For us, for a long time, that was like, hey, we're just not going to eat out that much. Hey, we're gonna sell these different assets, right? At one point, we had some auto loans, which was freaking stupid. Sold them, got rid of that. Now we don't do debt again at all. I will never go into debt again unless it's life and death. Period. And I don't think that's going to happen. I will sooner miss out on an opportunity than to go into debt. I might be weird. I don't care. I'm not doing it. I refuse. I freaking hate debt. I do not like being a slave. I demand freedom out of my life, which is what I was promised. So I'm not going to do that. But, those are some of the things that we've done in the past and some of the things we're doing right now. We keep our expenses very, very low so that we have more money to build wealth with. Of all of the wealth that comes into our company and into ourselves, what we normally see happen is well over 50% of it is invested. Well over 50% of it. Well over 50% of it's invested. I mean, we are investing about the same amount of money that we pay ourselves in a paycheck right now. Technically, even more than that, actually. Even more than that. So I would have to run the numbers again, but probably actually about 60 to 65% of the money that we make every month is going straight into investments. And so that's what I want you guys to be in the position to do. And so what can you do right now to Lower your expenses. I really want to know. I want to hear some examples in chat. What are some things that you are personally doing to lower expenses so that you have more money to invest? Because that's where I want you to be. I want you to have low expenses so that you can invest. We'll read some chat here. Let's see. Jason Berry said, I'm about to pay the auto loan off. That helps. Awesome. Good job. Just a terrible jobs report that continues to punish markets probably. Yep. Auto loan equals gone this month, and my oldest is on his own now. Money saver, lol. That'll do it. That will do it. Combined car insurances with USAA and Dish Xfinity for YouTube TV. That is awesome. How much did you save on that line in my pocket? If that's something that, you know, if you're going to get the same thing for cheaper, then do it. You know, that's one of the reasons I'm going to make FinSolve Academy, $99 a year. It's going to be like $8 a month. Tell me you want to build wealth and then tell me you're not going to sign up for that. I will say that's hypocrisy. I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know. $99 a year. That's how much Financial Sovereignty Academy is going to be. Absolutely crazy. Here's Kamala Harris ad running on our stream. You know, I saw a video yesterday. George Camel made a reaction to this. Kamala Harris said, "Is this so?" I'm going to see if I can find this video. Let me see if I can find this video. Kamala Harris was saying that you should take equity out of your home, basically get a HELOC, instead of I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it, but Kamala Harris was basically saying that you should take money out of your home, out of a HELOC, instead of to not go into student loans. Like, so you should do a reverse. You should take money out of your home, out of a HELOC. It's just very, very, I'll just say it, awful advice. Awful, awful, awful advice. If she's going to run the country that way, that is sad. That's not how you run your finances. You're literally screwing yourself over from having a paid off house. Let's see. Have more money coming into your household than you have going out to bills. Exactly. That's one of our laws of money. We live on less than we make, and ideally on a lot less than we make. Al J said, "Hi Jeb, what indicator is that called?" So our indicator down here is called, this is LUX ALGO on screen. Incredible indicator. If you go to luxalgo.com/Jeb and look around, you'll be able to find it. I'll go ahead and go there and show you. Your luxalgo.com/Jeb is going to take you to our landing page, actually, but you're going to be able to see other products here as well. The Crypto Jeb Oscillator is an incredible indicator. You've absolutely got to sign up for it. If you have not already and you do anything with charting, this is for you. Listen, if you don't do charting, you don't even know what a trading view is, and I get it, it might not be for you. We've got some other things that are going to help you, like NordVPN and whatnot, but Lux Algo, definitely worth every single penny. And if you go to Lux Algo as well here, you can go to Premium. I think they just redid the website, so forgive me if I don't see it here. But if you go to Lux Algo here, you're going to be able to sign up as well with Lux Algo Premium. You can subscribe, and then it'll take you to checkout. You can sign up, you can make an account, all of this, and you can get the main indicator access. And so you should absolutely sign up. Great indicators. JJTV said, unsubscribe due to Jeb being weird. I'm pretty weird. I'll take that one. I'll take that one. What about it is weird? Like that, I would be specific. Be specific. What about it is weird? I like being weird. Normal sucks. Normal freaking sucks. Normal is having 3 car payments in your front yard. Normal is living in a house that's 60% of your take-home pay. Normal is having a bunch of credit cards and you have no budget, so you have no idea where your money's going. Normal is being on a track to bankruptcy and you don't even realize it. Normal is not being a good husband and either you do nothing but work or you're a lazy bum and you don't go to work, but you don't go to work and love your family and do both of those things. Normal in America is freaking backwards. You've got to be weird if you want to succeed in life. If you want to succeed in life and you want to do something incredible, then you've got to be abnormal, because normal is exactly what leads you to being mediocre. I've got exactly zero interest in being normal. I've got exactly zero interest in being normal. I was told that it's abnormal and it's not, and it's weird and it's not cool to talk about Jesus while you're talking about crypto. You know what I said? I don't care. I'm not gonna make it all about that, because I get it. People came here for crypto, not for a sermon. I'm totally with that. But I'm gonna let you know I'm a follower of Christ, and if it comes up, I'm gonna tell you what I think about Jesus. You know, that was considered weird when I started doing that. Some of my friends that were, you know, working with the channel and everything, they're like, you can't do that. I said, well, yeah, I can. I'm going to. That's what I'm gonna do. Struck a nerve. No, I'm just curious. I really I would love to. I am weird. I own it. I just want you to be specific. No, I'm not bothered. I just want you to be specific. Lion in my pocket said, saved $140 a month and get more with YouTube TV. Save $75 a month combining our insurance with my wife. Boom. Love it. You sound like you're judging normal people and putting negative tropes on them, lol. I mean, I'm not judging them. What I am saying is that our world is very, very backwards. Normal and mediocre go very, very much hand in hand. That's nothing against anybody that's in those positions. What I'm saying is that I want to help you get out of those positions. I'm not ragging on anybody that's got a car payment or has got credit card debt or has got student loan debt. I'm not making myself out to be better than you. What I am saying is I've been there. It sucks. I want you to not be there anymore. I want to help you to be abnormal and get rid of that stuff so that you're not a slave. Normal in America is slavery. That's what normal means in the United States. Normal means a slave to a job that you hate. It means your relationships probably suck and you're super lonely. I'm not saying that that's any of you in particular. I haven't talked to any of you. What I am saying is that my heart breaks for that. My heart breaks for that. Hi, Jeb. Are you a pastor? In a way, I preach God's word, absolutely. I teach the laws of money. I teach you guys about Christ, if you ask. Yeah, I mean, I consider myself to be a teacher of God's word. I'm not exactly a pastor because I don't have a flock where I'm actually leading a church. But people do call me a pastor. I'm not a pastor, but people do call me that. Okay. Banks in England cutting rates. Is this a good thing, Jen? Yeah, so what we're seeing is there's going to be rate cuts coming in. This is a good point that we want to mention this. BOE, Bank of England, has lowered its main interest rate by 0.25% to 5%. Its first cut in over 4 years. This is a good sign. And it's actually interesting that, actually, I take that back. It's kind of to be expected that England would be doing this first. So back up. The way the interest rates work, you have a central bank, and the central bank is the bank that loans banks money. So if you borrow money from a bank and the bank doesn't have the money, which normally they don't because they're like pass-through financial entities, they're using somebody else's money and letting you use somebody else's money. If they need liquidity, then they borrow money from the central bank. In the United States, that's the Federal Reserve. In England, that's the Bank of England. Those two central banks issue their own interest rates on the money that they themselves loan. So that's called the effective federal funds rate in the United States, and in England, it's the main interest rate. And so that interest rate has the ability to move every single other interest rate in the entire market. Basically, if that interest rate goes down 0.25%, all the other interest rates from auto loans, student loans, home loans, etc., are going to go down 0.25% because the underlying money that the bank is borrowing from has just gotten cheaper. So that's why in the United States, effective federal funds rates are around 5.25. Home interest rates are around 7.25. The interest rate is 5% from the effective federal funds from the Federal Reserve, and you're looking at about 7% from the banks because they are arbitraging. They're making the difference. They're borrowing at 5, loaning to you at 7. They're making 2%. And so what we are witnessing when we see the Federal Reserve and the Bank of England and all these other banks hike interest rates is they're trying to slow down what was happening with the COVID-19 pandemic, which was a lot of inflation caused by all the money printing and the halting of the United States and the global economy. And so there's been, we've known for a long time that countries around the world were going to lower their interest rates. Keeping your interest rates high is a strain on the economy because we live in a world that operates by debt. And when the world operates by debt, the higher the interest rate, the more expensive it is to operate the world, if you will, because the cost of capital goes up. And so that puts a strain on the economy, which means that it costs a government something to keep interest rates high. It costs the United States growth. It costs the United States stock market, success and all of that. It costs the United States competitiveness to keep its interest rates high. The same thing can be said for the European Union, for the ECB, the European Central Bank, for the BOE, Bank of England, the BOJ, Bank of Japan. These banks, it costs their nation something to keep their interest rates high. So eventually they get to a point where they think, all right, we're fighting inflation because we're trying to keep the economy strong from that standpoint and our currency strong from that standpoint. But we have to pay for that with economic prosperity because debt's so expensive. So it always made sense that the Bank of England was going to cut interest rates before the United States because England is, the United Kingdom is not as strong of a economy as the United States, which means they can't hold interest rates that high for as long as the U.S. is able to. And so with that in mind, it makes sense that the BOE was going to lower rates before the United States was. And it also makes sense that this could be a sign that the United States could be starting to lower rates soon. If the rest of the world starts lowering rates, it's likely that the United States will follow suit because they can still stay competitive. They can still reach their goals potentially with lower rates. This does not mean that the U.S. is certainly going to lower its rates. What it does mean is that this is a step in the direction of the U.S. potentially lowering rates, because if the United States sees its key allies like the United Kingdom lowering rates, then that means that they might as well. But we of course do need to see inflation come down a little bit, and it is being notoriously sticky right now. When the United States Federal Reserve does lower interest rates, that is going to lead to an enormous rally in the stock market. As I said, heightened interest rates suppress economic growth. Well, as we've seen very high interest rates, highest interest rates we've seen for this long in a very long time, I can even show you here on the chart so I can give you some data to back this up. We have seen an enormous rally on U.S. stocks. As the interest rate has been climbing, the United States stock market has been rallying as well, dramatically. Even up here at 5.33, 5.33%, we are still seeing a huge rally on U.S. stocks. When interest rates do start coming down, we're going to see an even stronger rally on stocks because debt just got even cheaper, which makes it even easier for the United States economy to grow. This is one of the reasons in this decade I really want to get you investing, because right now, if you live in the United States, is a prime time to make money. And here's why. The globalization movement is collapsing around us as we speak, and jobs are coming back to the United States at an unprecedented rate. Many of the blue-collar jobs that left the United States over the course of the last 50 to 60 years are coming back. Oil and gas jobs, petrochemical jobs, manufacturing jobs, chips manufacturing, automotive manufacturing, all kinds of different industries are coming back to the United States right now, which is leading to unprecedented growth in the United States stock market. That unprecedented growth in the United States stock market is one of the major driving factors of this growth. And so when we start to see interest rates come down, that's going to lead to an explosive movement on U.S. equities, which will also lead to an explosive movement on Bitcoin, which will also lead to an explosive movement in real estate, which is why I want you to get out of debt, in control, and investing now, as soon as possible. Normal people, I'm just going off on that, normal people don't realize that. Your average Joe, one, has no interest in what I just said. They're not interested in that. That's not entertaining. That's not useful. They don't care. Abnormal people hear, oh my gosh, wait a minute. There's some big opportunities coming later this decade. Man, I got to scramble. I got to kill this debt. I got to get a budget. I got to get investing. I got to get control of my money. I got to go make something for myself. There's opportunities here. And that's what I want you guys to do. So, Bank of England cutting interest rates. This did just come out today. Actually, it happened yesterday. This is a major development. Big deal. Big deal. It's a sign of things to come. We just got a super chat from Shaq with the combo, giving us $5. Thank you so much. Said, could you check the RSI for Bitcoin? Absolutely. RSI, Relative Strength Index, tracks the strength of Bitcoin and of the bulls and the bears. And it's a very important oscillator here. We've been teaching for many years. We have, as of today, dropped below 50. So this is a big deal for Bitcoin because it does indicate that the bears are now in control. This is the first time in a long time that we've seen Bitcoin fall below the 50 level. I'll go ahead and show you the last time that we saw Bitcoin fall below the 50 level here on RSI. When we last saw Bitcoin fall below the 50 level on RSI, because this is how we look at things, we look at through the lens of historical analysis. The last time we saw Bitcoin fall below the 50 level on RSI was back here in June. The last time we saw that happen was right here. We saw us fall below the 50 level. And of course, that was an indication that we were going into a major corrective movement. And so we're seeing the exact same thing happen right now. And it makes sense because we're having a major crash on Bitcoin even as we speak. Even as we speak, we're currently falling below 63,500, which is a major level of support. We closed the hour red, big red candlestick. So definitely not what you were hoping to see if you are a bull right now. Just like we said yesterday, we are now on a confirmed downtrend and we should be expecting some more of this. Those have been our calls and they've been consistent, and that's what we've been seeing happen. So right now, we've also seen there is a sell signal on the hourly chart. We've seen a sell signal on the hourly chart that is confirmed with red trend catcher. So with that red trend catcher, that gives us even more confirmation on the shorter term time frames that some more bearishness is to come, which is what we were expecting. As I said, our original prediction was $60,000 on Bitcoin, which was a level of support that we put in motion, that we set here in the later part of June last month. So more bearishness likely to come to Bitcoin, which means more purchasing is in order. All right. Inflation can't get much lower this year because it's been very high. Yeah, it's going to take some time for sure. Inflation's not going to come under control that quickly. Right now, it's in the mid threes. It's going to take a while for it to get back down to target 2, but we will probably see some kind of rate cut from the Federal Reserve at some point in the next year. I don't think they're going to leave it up there forever. All right. Let's see. Jason Berry in chat. Get ordained, Jeb, man. I don't know. I don't know if sure. I mean, whatever. I suppose I could, right? I'm not, like I said, not a pastor. I do. My goal is to teach you guys how to succeed with money, and God has a lot to say on that. Normal folks don't change the world. Rock Lion LLC said. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. JJTV never answered my question. What about me is weird? I really want to know. I don't care. Being in YouTube for 7 years, it is extremely hard. It is so hard for you guys to offend me. I don't care. I appreciate the feedback. You guys give me... My haters honestly help me more than my fans sometimes. And it's not that I have anything against my fans. I love you guys. What I'm saying is that the haters don't care about hurting my feelings, so they give me the honest truth. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the candor. When somebody says, hey, you suck, and then they tell me something, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's good. Yeah, he's a jerk, but he's right. I appreciate that. I'm not too prideful to hear that. I don't care. Sure, you could be kinder. People can be kind like that. I'm all for people being kind, but I can still hear it, right? We're all ordained by God. Jeb, you're already ordained. In that sense, yes, absolutely I am. I appreciate the feedback. Like I tell you guys, if you don't like the stream, dislike the stream. Just tell me why. Just throw me a bone and tell me what you think could improve. You might be wrong, but you might be right. I might be wrong, and I'll learn from that. I don't care. My life satisfaction, my ego does not come from what you guys think of me. I am not doing this to make you guys like me. I'm doing this because I want to teach you, and if you want to hear what I have to say, then you're going to enjoy being here. But my goal is not to actually make you guys like me. That's not my goal. I'm not being a people pleaser here. A lot of what I say, the first step of the financial sovereignty way is repent, because you've been a fool. It takes some humility to hear somebody on YouTube say that. Now, maybe you haven't been a fool. Maybe you've been absolutely incredible with money, and you don't need to do that. And you can learn from a few of the other things. But maybe you have been a fool. Now, I've been a fool. I've been the chief of fools. I've been the biggest fool that you've ever met. I've been so smart and so stupid at the same time. It's incredible. I know God gave me a brain. I know I'm intelligent. But by golly, I've been dumb. Can anybody relate to that? My message is not one that's necessarily going to be popular with people that think they already know everything. My message is not for, as Jesus said, not for those that consider themselves righteous. My message is not for those of you that think you got it all figured out. My message is for those of you that are broken in need of a doctor. My message is for those of you that are understanding that what you've done has got you where you are. Maybe you're worth $5 million. Maybe you're worth negative $500,000. Whatever it is, what the sum total of what you've done in your life has led you to exactly where you are today. I want to help you grow that. If it's been a lot of good choices, I want to help refine you and work on the details and really put you on a good track. And if you have been making the wrong decisions, I want to help you get turned around so you're going in the right direction. That's what I want to help with. It's not always popular. Some people are like, I know what I'm doing, as they continue running straight towards a cliff. I'm not in the people-pleasing business. I'm in the business of loving you. And as the book of Proverbs says, as Solomon wrote, the wounds of a friend are faithful. I want to be your friend. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean you're always going to like me, because sometimes I'm going to tell you, hey, you're wrong. And I love you too much not to point it out, because I want to see you succeed. And the only way you're going to succeed is if you change this right now. I have a friend staying with us right now. I just told him last night, I'm like, I love you too much not to tell you that what you're doing right here is you're going to regret. I love you too much not to tell you that. I love you too much not to inform you that and it's something very minor, right? It's something minor. He's an incredible guy. I'm a very, very good friend of mine. But that's what friends do. The wounds of a friend are faithful. I'm never going to wound you just because I want to hurt you, but I will wound you if what you're doing is wounding you. And it takes me saying, hey, wake up. You're hurting yourself. Yeah, I'm going to tell you that. It's not always popular. And yeah, that's weird, because most influencers, most YouTubers, most business people, they succeed because the customer is always right, which is a load of crap because the customer is not always right. In my case, you guys being the customer, sometimes y'all wrong, and I got to help you get right. That's why you came here, so I can teach you how to get right. All right, let's read some chat. I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Al J said, we believe in you, Jeb. Yeah, guys, turn to Jesus. Amen. Absolutely. Remember, people thought Jesus was weird. That's right. Weird is just the leftist new talking point. You're not weird, Jeb. Hey, I welcome being weird. I don't mind being weird. My definition of weird is I'm different. I like being different. I don't care. I'm for it. I just challenge you guys when you give me feedback. First of all, whether you're nice or not, I don't really care. Like I said, I'm not in this business I'm not doing this because I get my ego from people liking me. Like a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I got 69,000 likes. I'm so cool. I don't care. It's just a number to me. All right, great. Awesome. That means people like this content. We're gonna make more of it because if they like it, that probably means it's helping them. We're getting bigger reach, number. But if you're gonna give me feedback, I really want you guys to be specific. I challenge anybody that gives us feedback, good, bad, whatever, to be specific. Come on, be specific. I don't mind the feedback. Be specific. All right. The honest truth is what it is that you're saying. Kimchi Premium. Yep. You're not weird. I don't mind being weird. Oh, that goofy weird word. People left acting like fifth graders. Yeah. A lot of nonsense out there in the world. Let's see. Drian said we were interested in the next 1 to 2 years, average Joe, max. Yeah, the next 1 to 2 years, I think are going to be very bullish for Bitcoin, and you're going to be able to make a lot of money from it if you do the right things. Economy dependent on the election like never before. Yes, absolutely. So major market crash going on right now as well, guys. I want you to keep an eye on this. Major market crash going on. We're down a couple of percent here on US S&P 500 opening up, and we're seeing a major drop on Bitcoin as well. We're looking at $62,600. As I said, we're looking at a $60,000 Bitcoin. That was our prediction yesterday. Bitcoin was trading approximately right here yesterday when we made that prediction. The rest of this market has occurred since then. Our prediction was about $60,000, potentially as low as $55,000. But from there, I do believe that we'll see a major uptrend following. Jesus was weird. He washed other men's feet and begged old poor ladies for a penny. I'm not sure about the begged old poor ladies for a penny part, but yes, he did wash our feet because he's a servant. Let's see. I start my day every day with coffee and crypto. Appreciate you, Jeb. Thank you so much, Kat. Welcome. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Joe Bollier's in chat said, good morning, Jeb. Good morning. All right. Okay. You're not weird. You're not even eccentric. Typical YouTuber kid that's pretty good with charts and pretty good with geopolitics. That's one way to put it. Yeah. The Russell 2000 needs to expand or there will be no bull run this time, but a break of a 16-year uptrend. Yep. All right, guys, I do also want to let y'all know, as we wait for anything else to come in here, this close to the CME gap, I'm no advisor, but I'm guessing it's going to fill it. Yeah, that's one of the things we want to talk about. BTC, one exclamation point. The Bitcoin futures chart does have a gap down here, which is part of the reason we were calling for a $60,000 or even sub $60,000 Bitcoin. There is a very, very, very clear gap right here between 58.6 and about 61,000. This gap is probably going to be filled. We don't always have a fill on the Bitcoin market does not always fill the gaps, but it does usually fill the gaps. Put it that way. It does usually fill the gaps. And so more than 95% of the time it's going to. So that would indicate, as we talked about, a drop as low as 55 to 53,000, but at least down to $60,000. So yeah, I do think that we're going to be seeing a continued drop. Now, to kind of teach you what's going on here, the Bitcoin futures only trade during the weekdays because they are on a stock market. They're at CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So they only trade during the week. So any day that the market's closed, if the market moves, it'll leave a gap. There's a major gap right here, and ever since they opened on December 16th or so, 2017, back here, way back here in December 2017, There are gaps sometimes. And when those gaps come, oftentimes they get filled. The main gap that we're looking at right now is this one on the shorter term time frames that I just showed you. So stay tuned for that. Again, I do think a corrective movement is coming, which means that you'll have the ability to buy more. Now, I do want to let you guys know about something very exciting, and that is Vault. If you guys have not already signed up for Vault, you absolutely should. Here's why. Holding your Bitcoin, self-custody is scary. When you hold your Bitcoin yourself, you end up running the risk of losing it because you could lose a key. And if you lose your key, you lost your coin. It's that simple. Uphold's Vault has solved this dilemma. You get 3 keys. Uphold holds onto one of them. They can never access your wallet because you need 2 keys to get into your wallet. You hold 2 of them, your vault key and your backup key. You need both of these keys to access your vault. Should you lose one or either one of these keys, the Uphold key can regenerate the key that you lost, regenerating the entire wallet and getting your keys back. This is an incredibly important piece of technology that you should absolutely use for your long-term self-custody for Bitcoin, period. You should sign up with the link in the description box down below. Every single one of you that holds Bitcoin should sign up for this. Very important. All right, we're going to read a little bit of chat before we wrap it out here because we are moving over time. Cynthia Dizon said, love you, Jeb, all the way. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hom Nath said, can you explain the Ethereum chart? Sure. Let's look at ETH. Ethereum's chart is in a major tailspin right now. And a big part of the reason for that is because of what we've seen out of the Ethereum ETF. If we go over here, we can see the flows on the Ethereum ETF. They have not been very good. They've been, in a word, abysmal. The main reason for that, though, is because we're seeing huge outflows out of the Grayscale fund. They've lost over $2 billion in the first week and a half. You can see they're losing their assets even faster than Bitcoin lost their assets since conversion. But we are starting to see some inflow days as well. Here on the 30th, which was back on, I think, it was Tuesday, we saw $33.7 million of cumulative inflows, mainly because we saw a huge amount of inflows going into the BlackRock fund. Same thing with August 1st, which was yesterday. We saw $26.7 million of cumulative inflows, most of that, again, coming into the BlackRock fund. You can see here in black, this is the BlackRock fund. Funny. The BlackRock fund is witnessing a huge amount of inflows. So that's wonderful. BlackRock is currently sitting on about $800 million of liquidity. And so that's of cumulative inflows. So that's great and something that we're going to want to keep a close track on. Very exciting that there is still a lot of inflows in there. And we're also seeing the outflows begin to slow down on the Ethereum fund, which means we could be seeing a turnaround on the total amount of flows here. We've seen a cumulative about $457 million of net outflows, including what we saw from Grayscale, but Grayscale's outflows are slowing down. Some of the other funds' inflows are speeding up, which means we could start to see net inflows on the entire ETF market as a whole coming in the next few weeks, which would be a bullish event that could happen 2 to 3 weeks from now, which would be a major part of how we would reverse from this corrective movement that we find ourselves in right now, because the Ethereum chart looks terrible. I mean, it looks awful. We've been in just one massive correction after another for the last month. And so what we're witnessing right now are great buying opportunities. The Ethereum ETF is going to be one of the most successful ETFs in the history of the entire United States markets. That being said, it might take a few months because it's being overshadowed by Bitcoin right now, and there are geopolitical events going on right now that are leading to corrective movements on our charts. So while Bitcoin and Ethereum are not ready for a massive uptrend yet, they are getting there, and it is prudent for us to be investing in them for the long run. All right, let's read a little bit of chat before we wrap it out. Jonathan is in chat, said, at Jeb, any links to your courses? My little bro is in a bad motorcycle accident, is looking to not waste time while he is limited in mobility, wants to learn TA. Yeah, we've got our links to the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy in the description box down below. He can definitely check that out if he wants to go learn technical analysis. You can find those down there. Falling knife. Yep, falling knife. Don't buy the falling knife if you're trying to hold it for a day. I don't really care if you're buying the falling knife if you're going to hold it for 3 years. That's the main thing. If you're going to buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum, hold it for 3, 5, 10 years, I don't care when you buy it. Right now, it's just a better deal. The lower it goes, the better. So, not a bear market. Very excited to tell you that we're in great shape here. Justin asking, is that a cold hardware wallet? It's not a cold hardware wallet, but it does live on your phone, and it also lives exported in paper. So the Uphold key is custodied by Uphold, and there are a lot of different ways that you can custody the private keys that you hold. Paper, you can put them in some kind of secure cloud service. I think you could export them and put them onto like some kind of cold storage hardware wallet. But it's not specifically a cold hardware wallet, but you do have total access to your own keys, so you can set it up that way if you'd like to do it that way. Love you, Jeb, all the way. Thank you so much. Getting a bit nervous. Portfolio went from 200K now to 83K. Why'd that happen, Neil? I'm so sorry. What are you in? You're not invested in Bitcoin and it did that. What are you invested in? See, that's why, gosh, that's why I teach this, is because, sometimes people are putting tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars into stuff and they don't know what it is. I'm not saying that's what you did, Neil, but I really want you guys to understand that succeeding financially is not about picking the right altcoin. That is a huge and dangerous misconception in cryptocurrency. It's not all about picking the right altcoin. It's about getting the budget right, the income and the expenses right, and investing as much as you can in solid things that will grow over time. So many people are out here trying to, all alts. Oh, Neil, I'm so sorry. Oh, goodness. I don't know what it is. They might be great altcoins that are going to come back. I would love to sit down with you in coaching after the baby comes, Neil, and talk to you about that if you'd be interested. Yeah. Whew. Yeah, Neil, my first recommendation to you would be to make sure that you have Bitcoin and Ethereum to hedge your bets on those alts. Never, ever, guys, never, ever, ever invest in all altcoins and not in Bitcoin and Ethereum first. Ever. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, but Jeb, I'm in debt. I'm going to try and 10x my money and get out of it. Nope, don't do it. No, do it the right way. Use your income to pay off the debt. No, Jeb. I know this one coin's got 100x. Okay, fine. Buy some of it. Don't forget to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. Oh, but Jeb, Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're too big. I can't make any returns in them. Nonsense. Bitcoin's up over 150% in the last 18 months. You can make plenty of money in Bitcoin. 150% in 18 months isn't enough for you. You have an income problem, my friend, or at least a problem with how much money you have left over after you spend your money. You have a profit problem. So please, and Neil, I love you so much. Please get some Bitcoin, some Ethereum to hedge those bets. Yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry. And hey, again, I don't want to freak you out. It can come back. I don't know what the portfolio is, but yeah. Whew. I'm sorry, Neil. I'll help you. Listen, Neil. Listen. Here's the cool thing. And I'll wrap the stream out on this because I've got to go. But succeeding is something that you don't really have. You don't. There's only one way to fail at succeeding. There's only one way to fail, and that's to quit. And when you realize that I realized this a long time ago. When you realize that the only way to fail is to quit, then when you lose $117,000 on paper, which again, it might all come back. You might quadruple it from 200K to 800K. I don't know. I don't know what the portfolio is in. But when you take a step back, you didn't fail. Even if the one event may have failed, you didn't overall fail. What you did is you just learned. Right? So if your lesson cost you $117,000, guys, I've got lessons that cost me a lot more than $117,000. I've got lessons that cost me millions of dollars. And I'm okay with that. Does it sting? Yeah. Am I okay with it? Yeah. Because I learned the lesson and I'm better for it. And I run things very squeaky clean financially. It's one of our strengths, the way that we operate our finances, right? And so a lot of things that I've had to learn the hard way, and they've come with 6-figure, sometimes 7-figure price tags. Guys, the crypto jet branding, I use this as an example sometimes. The crypto jet branding should have cost us between $25,000 and $50,000. And yes, it does, that kind of stuff does cost that much. We spent over $250,000 on it because of how much we were not telling our contractor who did it, hey, no, this is what you're doing. You're not doing all that. No. We got kind of toyed around. We spent way more money than we ever should have. Way more money than we ever should have. Lesson learned. Be really freaking laser focused with your contractors. No, you're doing this and you're not doing that. This is the deadline. It's going to happen by then, or it's not going to happen. You've got to be on top of that. There are lessons that Neil, however much you've lost, even if you do end up losing it and you don't get it back, which I don't think is necessarily what's going to happen if you've invested in good altcoins. So I don't want to freak you out, but Whatever it's cost you, it's nothing that you can't get back. It's a lesson that might have been expensive, but it's something that you can learn from and grow from, and you might end up making 10x what you lost because you learned the lesson, even though it cost you a lot in the short term. It's incredible how life works. All the twists and turns. You get to the end and you're thinking, man, I see how it all works together now. Why couldn't I have just seen that 50 years ago? I hope you guys have enjoyed today's stream. We are going to wrap it out. If you enjoyed today's stream, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned because we got a lot more content coming. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.